Times are tough, and for many of us, our craft budgets are getting smaller and smaller. It's not hard to overspend on craft supplies, especially if you're not clever about how you spend your pennies. What if I told you that you could be making some big mistakes when it comes to spending your craft budget? How do I know? Because I've made them too. So in today's video, I'll share 16 big mistakes I no longer make as a frugal crafter. You too can save a fortune on your craft supplies just by avoiding these mistakes. The first mistake that any frugal crafter avoids is wasting supplies. Frugal crafters will cut the center out of their papers. They aren't afraid to use their tiny paper scraps, and they are resourceful. They know exactly what's in their stash, and they certainly do not buy duplicates. They don't buy more than they need, and they purchase with a purpose. Speaking of buying things, frugal crafters do not make the mistake of buying the full set. They don't need an entire scrapbook collection or every color of ink that's available in the set. They know that having a full set is really just a marketing ploy to get you to buy more than you need. What do frugal crafters do instead? Well, they only buy their favorite colors and designs. They pick and choose their favorite elements from a collection and they skip the rest. Frugal crafters do not make the mistake of mindlessly shopping online, and they certainly do not impulse buy. They have carefully curated their stash and they have very specific plans for new supplies that they purchase. They don't make the mistake of shopping for fun. They create for fun instead. They understand that shopping for craft supplies and using craft supplies are two completely different hobbies. If you want to be a frugal crafter, know exactly what's in your stash and how your new supplies will work with what you already have. And certainly don't buy anything on a whim. Frugal crafters don't make the mistake of following the trends. They will not purchase something just because it is trendy, because they understand that trends come and go so quickly it's impossible to keep up. They look for tools and supplies that will stand the test of time and work in very well with the supplies they already have. If you want to be a truly frugal crafter, you have to understand your crafting style and the supplies you love and use. Stick to the things you love and don't make the mistake of letting trends inform your buying decisions. Savvy crafters are not afraid to buy second hand. They don't buy everything brand new. They look for deals on Facebook Marketplace, at garage sales and in op shops. They swap supplies with friends at crops and they love to repurpose things. They are also not afraid to sell the excess supplies and tools they no longer need. I love that you can do this all online now. There are so many different Facebook groups for buying and selling craft supplies. There's sure to be one in your area. If you want to be a frugal crafter, sign up and see what deals you can find. Frugal crafters don't buy all of their craft supplies at the craft store. They think outside the box when it comes to everyday craft supplies and craft room storage. They upcycle packaging and they love to repurpose things, and they certainly don't buy their craft room organization at the craft store. What do they do instead? They buy secondhand and they DIY, and they're always on the lookout for the odd storage item that they can repurpose into their craft space. If you're short on time, be sure to check the description box below. I'll leave a link to a video I recently created with amazingly affordable storage options that I know will be perfect for your craft space. Frugal crafters love a good deal, but they don't make the mistake of buying cheap. They understand that quality matters and they invest in supplies that they can use for many years to come. Wherever possible, they will avoid the cheap knockoff products for the same reason that many of us now avoid fast fashion. In my experience, those supplies don't end up being economical in the long run because they're not made to last. Frugal crafters know that it is so much better to get the thicker paper, the genuine metal dies, and the more expensive glue. You just get a better product and you're supporting the craft industry in a way that you cannot if you're buying those knockoff products. Savvy crafters don't make the mistake of paying for craft classes. I know this could be a hot take, but hear me out. Frugal crafters won't just jump right into paid content thinking it has all the answers to all of their problems. Instead, they get to know the creative behind the course. They watch their YouTube videos and they seek out their free content to get a better understanding of their expertise and teaching style. They can then make a much more informed decision about the course and its content. They also make the best of the free content and classes that are available online from creatives just like me. Many of the most frugal crafters are already subscribed to this channel, so if you've not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button below. It's free. Have you made any of the mistakes I've shared so far? You know I have made them all. Let me know in the comments below. And I did just remember I have an extra one to share with you. I'll save that for the end of the video. Did you know that frugal crafters don't make the mistake of buying anything until they've researched it? This is really, really important when you're looking at those electronic die cutting machines or big expensive craft tools. The higher the value of the purchase, the more research that's necessary. Understand what's needed for the tool to work, check reviews and watch tutorials online before you purchase. I have watched a bunch of tutorials for machines before I've purchased it, and those tutorials have actually showed me that I don't want to buy that machine. Big brands are so good at telling you that you need the latest and greatest tools and equipment, when the reality is that not every new tool is made for every crafter. My recommendation is to not buy the latest and greatest tool that you see online. Take a moment, do the research, and know that you will use it 100% before diving on in. Having said all of that, frugal crafters are not afraid to buy tools because they do know that they are an investment. They know that once a tool is in their stash, they can use it over and over again for free. That's girl math, right? And they know that if they choose the right tools, that they will end up saving money in the long run. Frugal crafters don't make the mistake of spending too much money on subscriptions. Yes, Patreon and kit clubs are great, but you want to be sure to only keep signed on to those that you love. I've personally found it hard to stay subscribed to the kit clubs that have huge kits, because what ends up happening is I collect more supplies than I'm actually using. If you're looking for an inexpensive option, I would recommend digital subscriptions, and I do have one as part of my store. For just $2 a month, you can get the exclusive cut of the month design for use in silhouette, cricut and similar machines. And the beauty of a subscription like that is not only that it's super inexpensive, but it will help you to breathe new life and be inspired by the supplies that you already have. I'll leave a link in the description box below. A reminder too that you are not committed to a subscription for life. You can cancel anytime. So when I'm buying Kit Club subscriptions, generally I will just sign up for 3 to 6 months and then stop the subscription so that I've got time to use up those supplies. I know that I can join back in whenever I'm ready. Savvy crafters don't hate spreadsheets. In fact, they love them and they use them to track their spending. Can you tell me exactly how much you spent on craft supplies last month? Frugal Crafters can because they have a budget. If you want to be a truly frugal crafter, you will know exactly how much you're spending on craft supplies and how much crafting you are doing. So now's the time to channel your inner accountant and balance those books. Frugal crafters don't underestimate the value of a digital download. Digitals are amazing. They are really, really inexpensive, and these days there are so many options. American Crafts have a lot of their collections now available as digital download, and of course I have my cut file store, all digital download classes, SVG designs and more. I'll link to both of those in the description box below, and then you can download the designs and use them over and over. I've noticed that savvy crafters don't make the mistake of paying full price, and they certainly do not pay for shipping. Savvy crafters really do know how to get a bargain. They sign up to store newsletters so they can get notifications of sales, and some will even send free downloadable files. They know how to compare prices on similar products, and that the best time to shop is Black Friday and those end of year sales. They look out for free shipping deals and only get things when they are on special. So if you want to save, you should do this too. On to tip number 15. Frugal crafters are not afraid to DIY it. They know that pre-made embellishments cost big money, and you actually pay for convenience. It's the same as the grocery store. The pre-made salad mix is always going to cost more than the ingredients if you bought them separately. Think of the example of paper flowers. You buy a pack of maybe 12 flowers for $10, and once that pack is gone, it's gone. However, if you were to invest in a stamp and die set, then you could make as many paper flowers as your heart desires. If you're looking for beautiful die sets to create your own embellishments, I will leave a link in the description box below to Scrap Diva Designs. They have beautiful dies for flowers in particular, gorgeous quality, and I know that you'll be able to use them over and over again, and they'll last a lifetime. Oh yes, and remember, frugal crafters don't pay full price, so if you use the link, you'll get a 10% off discount. I've noticed that frugal crafters aren't afraid to change their spending habits. They've learnt from their mistakes, and if things get a little bit off track, they're not afraid to change things up and maybe even do a spending freeze. They know that the mistakes of the past don't impact the choices that they make moving forward. So I want you to know that even if you haven't been the most frugal crafter in the past, maybe you have been making some of these mistakes, know that you can change your habits and start saving money today. Okay, so I know you've been waiting to hear my bonus tip. So here it is. It's one of the best ways to save money, and it's about being super thrifty when it comes to your craft room organization. This one tip can save you so much that I have actually done a deep dive dedicated video. I'll share some amazing craft room storage. I'll also share my secret way for you to pay less on any craft room storage that you may want for your space. So be sure to watch that video next. I'll see you all again very soon. Until then, bye.